Electricast.
You ready?
Showtime.
On May 3rd, summer starts with The Fall Guy.
Let's do it later.
Let's drink a spicy margarita.
Make some bad decisions.
Yes!
Audiences are falling in love with the most entertaining film of the year.
Fall Guy.
Fall Guy?
Fall Guy.
That's what the poster said.
See Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt in the movie critics say exists to make you happy.
Trying to make it out?
Nope.
Because I don't either. It's not what I'm into right now.
What are you into?
Talking.
Yeah.
The Fall Guy. Only in theaters May 3rd. Rated PG-13.
Get ready for the greatest roast of all time, the Roast of Tom Brady, a Netflix live event happening May 5th. Hosted by Kevin Hart, the 7-time world champion gets his cleats held to the fire by famous friends and frenemies on an unforgettable night where everything is fair game. Tune in on May 5th at 5 p.m. Pacific time for the Roast of Tom Brady, live only on Netflix.
Hello, welcome to Missing the Point. This is actually a live. We're not broadcasting live because everyone's watching the draft, but we're watching the draft live. It just clicked over 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern time, and in our respective time machines, I'm here with Hollywood Ray Buchanan. We're watching the draft live together. We're sponsored by Courtyard by Marriott. No, sorry. The draft is sponsored by Courtyard by Marriott. We're sponsored by a lot of different, really wonderful people. But Ray, are you excited for the draft? I feel like this is the first draft I've given a shit about this much ever. To be honest, as a Bears fan, I think I'm about to see my team draft Caleb Williams unless they do something absolutely muggy. But I am curious what they're going to do at 9. We discussed this briefly, but really what I want to start with is I don't know what the Pats are going to do. Do you know what the Pats are going to do here?
No, I mean, I think they're locked into it. I think that they've been trying to do a lot of smoke and mirrors, which is what
They're going to draft a QB. We get that part, but who?
Yeah, which I mean, I know every team at the top, somewhat does. I mean, the most intriguing one to me, as far as if they chose to trade back, was trading back to 6 with the Giants and getting 6. Getting a second rounder and then getting a first next year, because I don't see the Giants doing really well in the foreseeable future.
No, they might be an 0-17 team come next year.
Yeah, I mean, once again, we'll get into that later on when we get back into the full swing of football. But yeah, I just think that they should stay pat, pun intended. And if you love the quarterback there, get him. So if that's Drake Maye, get him. If it's Jaden Daniels, get him. If it's JJ McCarthy at that number,
Don't get McCarthy.
get him. If you love the guy, once again, this is not the fan perspective. This is if they
Who
love.
do you want? Who do you want him to pick?
So I want May. I want Drake Maye.
I would want Drake Maye too. I think I've oscillated between him and Jaden Daniels as the second best QB in the draft, but
yeah,
I think Drake Maye on just pure physicals. I really think you can just get him in there and teach us some shit. I think Jaden Daniels really reminds me of Justin Fields. I think he's going to hit every athletic marker that you set out for him. He's a little skinny, but I don't see him in New England. It just doesn't make sense to me in my head. Does that make sense to you? Drake Maye just feels
there was
a
time when I would have been okay with it, because as someone who watches the SEC pretty closely, because I am a Florida Gator fan for college football. He gave us, in the words of LaShawn McCoy, crazy work. He went off on us. And I was like, well, that would look nice in Foxborough, him running for 150 and throwing for 250.
He had some great weapons too, I mean, that program was really, really great. I think there's a lot to say for that. I just mean that to make you feel better about Florida. I feel like LSU gave a lot of people a lot of work over the last couple of seasons.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, that game in particular, I was sick to my stomach. I was like, wow, he's really doing whatever he wants to do. So I'm like, it is what it is. But yeah, he's there. And then, obviously, it's only round 1 tonight. Obviously we're recording this on night 1. I'm looking for them to go receiver early in the second round.
Yeah, you need someone. And it's such a stacked receiver class. There's so many good receivers.
Yeah, so probably the kid out of South Carolina, Xavier Legette. Looks like Debo 2.0. So hopefully he can be that guy up here. So yeah, I mean they have a lot of options. So they have pick 3, pick 34, pick 68. So those are the first 3 picks. So I wouldn't mind going tight end in that third round. There's a kid from Texas named Jatavion Sanders, who
He's nasty.
beast. And so
This is the thing. This is the thing about the wide receiver draft class.
I don't think he'll be there. He won't be there. And
I think that people are really. I'm worried. I'm not worried. That's not the right word. I'm thinking the phenomenon might happen this draft where some wide receivers start to drop down the board because everybody's very confident that it's a super deep wide receiver class. So I almost like, is Marvin Harrison Jr. going to go fourth? Probably, but he's not going to get past like 6th or 7th, right? Like there's just no way. Rome Odunze, if he makes it to 9, I wouldn't be like terribly upset if the Bears chose him, but I don't know. I mean, I just feel like you could just spend, and we don't have that many picks, but like you guys could spend one draft pick in the 3rd or 4th round, and you could get a legitimate wide receiver, at least 2, right? Like to start to build around that offense, right? And give them something. What do you make of this wide receivers potentially going at 31 to the 49ers, and they're going to trade the Patriots Brandon Ayuk? That's NBC Sports Boston breaking news.
So I would love that.
Obviously, right? I mean, obviously, right?
That would be ideal. Like, obviously, like that to me, I put that in the pipe dream category. So whether it's getting Ayuk, whether it's
getting traction, bro.
Yeah, T. Higgins also is someone that they franchised him, I think so, in Cincinnati. So I think he's off the table.
Did they? Last I heard, he was agitating for a move.
Oh, I don't know. I thought they maybe they say a franchise receiver. I don't know, but because for the franchise receiver should be Jamar Chase. But I get it. Like, he's very good in his own right. But I mean, he's another guy that we've been asking for up here down at Route 1. But I don't know. They have options. I mean, I know they went after Calvin Ridley. But they didn't place a big enough bet.
Yeah, dude. Listen to this though. I mean,
that's what it is.
I don't know what's going on over there in Cincinnati, but their Pro Bowl defensive end Trey Hendrickson requested a trade yesterday. And then right at the same time, pretty much, T. Higgins requested a trade. So there's a lot of motherfuckers trying to get out. I mean, I don't want to go crazy here, but does that tell you that maybe they know something about Joe Burrow's injury that we don't know?
I just think that it's like maybe Cincinnati's not looking to pay them. I don't think it's that. Because I mean, of course, who in their right mind would want to play with Joe Burrow? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, but Trey Hendrickson, it's like what? Like he's like a stud edge rusher. Just pay those guys now. Like he's due $15 million a season. That's not crazy. I mean, it's not low, but it's not insane. You can make that work.
I mean, if Joey Bosa got the money he got, I always love seeing a good dog getting booed.
I'm a little worried the Bengals aren't running that organization correctly in order to get the most out of their fucking all-star quarterback, to be honest.
I mean, fine by me. I mean, let's come. But isn't it great to see Roger Goodell get booed? It's awesome, isn't it?
It is awesome. I'm really enjoying that. For no reason, Eminem is there. I guess it's in Detroit, and
right, Detroit,
his own song, and he's just been really into football lately, I guess. Like he's really getting involved. Probably because the lines got better. But here we are. He's immediately given credit like a little bit of street cred to Roger Goodell that he has not earned. He's like, go check out my friend Eminem, everybody.
Right.
We're definitely totally friends. I mean, they're rich guys, right? So I feel like
to me, they missed an opportunity. Maybe they couldn't pay him enough, but I was like, for them not to come out to lose yourself is like is criminal. Like, come out to lose yourself, like that. How do you not come out to that? He's
probably bored. He's probably bored of hearing it.
Listen, as a fan, I'm like, I need it. Inject it into my veins.
I mean, it's a banger.
Or to collapse something, So
here's everybody else.
Yes, sir. Hey, I'm feeling the suits, man. But listen, we gotta go to this at one point, man, and
go to the draft.
I would love to do a show from there. Love to.
That would be cool, like a remote, like back in the day. Do a remote.
Mm-hmm.
This is cool though.
Oh, hey Barry, let's go.
Barry's here. This is Detroit. This is like Detroit crack right now. It's like they brought out a whole charcuterie board of all their favorite people.
It was my guy Scott Mitchell though.
It's nice. It's probably going to really help the economy there.
Yeah, Scott. Oh, for sure, big time. Even last year, like when I went to SummerSlam, like it was packed, and shout out to Eminem.
How was that?
Great. It was awesome.
Didn't you just go to WrestleMania?
Yeah, WrestleMania was at Philly, but I'm saying SummerSlam had their event in Detroit last year in August, and shout out to M&M's restaurant, Mom Spaghetti, really fire.
Was it good?
Right, it was
If
good.
they gave you,
Spaghetti,
you got spaghetti and like fucking marinara sauce at Mom's Spaghetti. It was good.
Mom
Wow.
Spaghetti.
I mean, you're hearing it from an East Coaster right now. You're hearing it from a
yeah,
Boston.
you know, what I'm saying? Yeah, no, it was fire. Yeah, it was fire.
Don't fuck around with
their pizza-
spaghetti in Boston.
Right, yeah, exactly. Unless you go to the North End, right? So you know, it's dope. I need that jacket. That jacket is cold. I need
I
that
know.
jacket.
I missed I wore this Urlacher jersey I'm wearing. I wore it to a Y2K party the other day because remember we used to drip out in football jerseys and we just don't do
Jerseys, yep.
that anymore. Like it's just not a thing. Like was it like like they were actually selling football jerseys that weren't to real teams. Like the FUBU would just make one, and it would just be like a random
Right, that's
color,
right.
and we would just
Oh
ride. It was
my
like it's like
God.
Malibu's Most Wanted era.
Yeah.
Where we would just and I like owned this Urlacher jersey, and people were like, "Did you just get it?" I'm like, "I've literally had this since I was 15. It's in pristine condition because it fell out of style to wear it out of the house at a certain time.
Yep.
So,
Right.
it's just in good condition. I think we're about to see Caleb Williams get drafted. Do you think that there's a possibility that the Bears are going to do something dumb here?
They're gonna draft Drake Maye.
Do you think that there's someone's entertained a trade? Would they be dumb to entertain a trade proposal?
I mean, you always field all calls. Like you don't,
Of course.
you don't say I'm not gonna listen. Like you always listen to see if a team is gonna be like Mike Ditka and give you everything for like the next decade. Excuse me. So like that to me is always worth entertaining. But yeah, like clearly teams weren't blown away at the top to trade back, and I think it's gonna go. It's gonna go to script. I think the first 5 to 6 picks, honestly.
Oh my god, I just got so scared because it said Bears, Panthers,
Oh man,
and I was like, wait, what? And
I'm looking at that. I'm like,
and we were just talking about
what?
the one where we fleeced the Panthers to get into this position in the first place. Like, I really legitimately almost just had a heart attack. This graphic just came up. Bears, Panthers trade. I'm like, I'm sorry, what? I was about to end the show. I was
like, we feel bad for you guys. Let me give it back to you.
I know.
Oh my god, that's great.
Oh, Bears are on the clock. A minute has passed. We have not yet drafted Caleb Williams. I really wish they would just stop teasing.
I know. I hate when like even like I mean I know it's a different sport, but just like last year with the NBA, we knew it was just like January.
I know.
Was Wembanyama, like cut it out.
But that was even more nailed on than this. Like Wembanyama was like the most prospect since like Kevin Durant.
What are we doing? Like just say that's the first pick, and we go from there.
Caleb looks chilled. He looks chilled.
I mean, I would too. I know I'm about to get a guaranteed deal. You know,
he's about to get paid some pretty decent rookie money.
Yeah, and he deserves it.
I thought he had a 5th-year option for these guys. It takes 5 years for them to really start to make money.
Yeah. I also thought it was weird how the narrative tried to switch, about him, towards the end of last season, because of whether it was him crying to his mom, whether it's.
I feel like people look for shit though, right? Like you look for anything.
Yeah, I mean,
and when you're not telling me football reasons, like to not draft,
right? Yeah, it's
like mechanics reasons. I don't really give a shit, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, there was some gunslinger mentality there towards the end, but I felt like they wouldn't have had a chance to even win games.
He had to put the whole game on his back every time, though. Right?
Exactly. He was throwing to Jerry Rice's son. I do think he's going to be a really good late round pick for somebody.
I drafted him in Madden. He was
gotcha. Good. Okay. Yeah. So
I was like, is that Jerry Rice's kid? I looked it up and I was like, sure is.
There is. Yeah. Brendan Rice. Yep. So,
what a draft class for wide receivers. Marvin Harrison's kid, Jerry Rice's kid. That's fucking cool. What about the tight end? Is it Malik Neighbors? Is the tight end that everybody's talking about? No, he's the wide receiver. Who's the tight end everybody's talking about? Brock?
Yeah, Brock Bowers.
Brock Bowers.
Like I said, Jatavion Sanders from Texas, Theo Johnson from Penn State comes to mind. So
I liked Caleb's hair better when he was getting the Heisman. I don't know, this like scruffy look. I don't know.
What do you think? Heisman. Shout out to Reggie Bush.
Got his Heisman back.
Heisman back. So I'm happy.
I feel like that was Johnny Manziel made that happen. He like tweeted. He was like,
yeah. No, he was on.
Or he said it. Yeah.
Okay. and said that, hey, we riot, we rioted dawn.
I mean, it was bullshit that he got that.
Oh, big time, big time, big time. What's not big time is that orange suit that man got. The hell's going on?
You know what's nice though? I'll tell you, at least he went on to like have a pretty, decent NFL career after
for sure.
all that bullshit happened. Like,
Yeah.
if he would just kind of faded away, like we wouldn't be talking about his Heisman like robbery right now.
I mean, he's the best college football player I've ever seen.
What about Tim Tebow?
Well, look, listen, I'm a Gators fan. I love Tebow. Reggie Bush is the best college player I've ever seen in my life. And that Fresno State game sealed the deal. When he ran across field and made like 10 dudes miss, I was like, yo, this man is incredible. And you was up late watching the game because they was on the West Coast, so it wasn't like you couldn't. They wasn't playing at 12 o'clock all the time unless they played Notre Dame on the road. So you had to stay up to watch them play, and he was box office every time. So him, Lendell White, Matt Leinart, Dwayne Jarrett, the other Steve Smith, that team was loaded, man, loaded.
Yeah,
And
that's a lot of good players.
but that was a good time for sure. But yeah, no, I was happy for him though. Happy for him. I was like, okay, yeah, look at that. Of course, it's showing the tape against my Gators. See that? See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was just
I told you.
We're currently watching Jaden Daniels highlights, and the Florida
Oh
Gators
my
are
God.
featuring heavily.
Yeah, I'll say, oh,
I mean, he's cooking though. Like it's not like it's bad coverage. He is dropping absolute
yeah,
dimes.
dropping dimes.
He's very college football oriented though as a QB, don't you think? Like the way he moves in the pocket, like it's all very college mechanics. Like I think there's a lot of his footwork's not. I don't know. I mean, I'm not an expert in this kind of thing, but I feel like I'd worry about his footwork. I always worry about Justin's footwork. Like every time, I felt like Justin would make the decision to run before he properly went through his reads. And I think when you have that that much of an asset in your back pocket, you use it. Like you go to it because it'll like work a lot of the time. But I worry about that with Jaden Daniels. Like I think if you guys get Drake Maye, you might have a project on your hands. I think you'll definitely have a project on your hands, but I think it's a better bet than Mac Jones was. Which is easy to say in hindsight,
I mean, for sure. Listen. I will send you. I will send you a Drake Maye jersey out west. Like I'll send you a red one. I'm ready. I'm ready for that era. We're all ready. So it's time. If is that mom? Mom looks like Queen Latifah there.
I didn't see her, but I hope so.
Yeah. UNITY. It's like,
oh, you mean like cool Queen Latifah, like before she went mainstream?
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Back when she was just like kind of a hard rapper.
Yep, and then but Living Single Queen Latifah was cool too. Living Single was a great show.
Yeah, but I didn't love like do a rom-com with Steve Martin, Queen Latifah.
No.
I'm not a huge fan of like action star on TV Queen Latifah. I'm like, I don't buy it. I don't buy it.
Oh yeah, no, facts. But so here we go. So now they're all shaking hands and hugging
They're
each
all
other.
clapping and shaking hands. They've made their pick.
Like it's like, what a joke though. Like, it's December. Cut it out. So here comes
You're right. I mean, they're celebrating like they just decided.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So here we go. So I'll let you sit back and enjoy this moment.
Thanks for sharing this moment with me. This could be an historic moment.
Yeah, it could be. And once again, especially when I was the one that was on the least amount of football shows, I feel like collectively, glad I'm on this.
That noise, you heard that noise?
Dun, 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 dun. With the first pick.
I'm nervous. Thank God. Oh, thank God.
It's like, hey, there he is, Chicago. There he is. Let's get it.
He's happy.
Let's get it.
He's happy. He's the first pick. He looks delighted. Honestly, he looks delighted. He looks like a real weight has been lifted off his shoulders. Like this has been a lot of buildup for him.
Oh yeah, I mean, whenever it's always. I mean, listen to hear your name called once again.
He's walking with a lot of confidence.
Yeah, it was cool. Like I had a family member that played in the NFL, right?
Oh, that's cool.
You always actually you actually know who he is because he coached in Green Bay, Philadelphia as well. Name is actually Ray Rhodes. So we coached in the 90s, 80s, whatever. But anyways, it's always cool like to hear you hear your name, and that's whether it's the first round, fifth round, in those days the 10th round, you want to hear your name. So and if it to be number one like that's dope. It looks good, orange and blue, baby. It looks good, doesn't it?
He looks like a bear. He looks like
Yeah.
he looks
Yeah,
like it fits.
let's see. Let's go. That should have been crazy had it been in Chicago though. Like if the draft was there in Chicago, I feel like you probably.
I love it. I love the reflection on Detroit right now.
Yeah,
I love they're absolutely fucking styling on Detroit. We just drafted a generational QB. We're about to fuck them up with
Hey,
this
look at that.
next 10 years. We're about to absolutely the dude is about to absolutely torture them for the next 10 years. Just walked up on the stage in their hometown. I love that. I love that. This is the best away game he's ever gonna play.
Man, they're out there though. Bears fans are out there.
Yeah, I mean it's not that long of a drive, division rivals.
Right. So okay, love that.
I'm into it. I'm into this pick. I feel good about it. I love Justin. If it wasn't for the fact that a guy that with this much generational potential talent came up and everything aligned the way it did, I would have been happy to keep riding with Justin for a couple more years.
Mm.
I'm really happy he ended up in Pittsburgh, to be honest. I think it's a really good program, and he gets to sit for a year now. I wish we were in a position where we could have Caleb sit for a year, to be honest. I really think there's like nothing more beneficial to a QB. You and me both, but I mean, we just obviously we know that like that's a nice thing to do for a young quarterback.
For sure.
It's to like let him exist in the NFL for a year. So there's ways to cheat it, and I think the way to cheat that is you get him a fuck ton of good players. And they did a really smart thing, I think, by improving our backfield with DeAndre Swift. He's a receiving option, sure, but he's also like, I think he's going to be able to. He just was with Jalen Hurts for however many years. Like he's going to be able to run these option plays with Williams. I don't think Caleb's going to run a ton in the NFL. I think he'll be like improvisational when need be. I think that's the biggest thing we're going to have to watch is if he learns. Like people compare him to Patrick Mahomes, but the thing that Patrick Mahomes did is he learned how and when to do what. And now he's just a guy who makes the exact correct decision in every single situation. And like, that's why he's the best guy in the NFL. Does he have other tools? Of course. Like, does he have a great like arm? Of course. Like, does he have a great zip on the ball? Yes. All the things are there. The one thing we don't know about Caleb Williams is like what kind of a decision-making quarterback he's going to be, because quite honestly, since Tom Brady, that's what you need to win football games. You need a QB that is going to make the right choices in crunch time, and in important situations for the momentum as you go. And I think like we've seen guys in the NFL fail based on one or two decisions in a big game. You know what I mean? Like we've seen really, really talented QBs fail, like markedly fucking talented. Like Andrew Luck was the best prospect I think we'd ever seen in our lifetimes come into the NFL, right? Like just as far as like prospect status and what he was able to accomplish. And he has a winning season, his first season in the NFL. And you're basically thinking like, it's just a countdown until Andrew Luck's going to win a Super Bowl. But a tiny like set of circumstances make it so that he has to retire mega early and we never see him win a championship, I mean, there's arguments to be made for what kind of a team they put around him sort of consistently across those years. But I mean, it was really what got him out of the game was just sort of bad luck. So, no pun intended. So it's just like, you never know with these things. You never know what you're going to see coming out of these guys. I think his Caleb Williams' talent is undeniable. It's really just going to be about what is going on up between the years. And even then, I don't think that that's like 100% everything. You need a little luck. You need things to break your way. Tom Brady himself, like, he played a million years, so like this didn't destroy his career, but he went down for a whole season at the start of a season, and Matt Castle had to come in, and like, we didn't know what he was going to look like coming back from injury. We didn't know, like, and that you lose a year with a team that you're building around him when stuff like that happens. So I don't know. I mean, the Tom Brady conversation is far, far, far away from like, draft day, but to me, I feel really like we got somebody super talented, and it's really going to be on the coaching staff. I think it's smart. Like, just leave the coaching staff in place and just let them try and work it out. Like, now we're all young. All the contracts are young. And let's just try and figure this thing out. You just ride with them. Because if you do what we did to Justin and you just keep switching coaches on him, obviously Nagy had to go. But if you keep switching coaches on him, it's like, come on, man. Like, what do you expect? What do you expect him to be able to do? He has to learn a new offense every season. And I just don't think that works. That's not sustainable. So we'll see.
Well, I mean,
Commander's pick is in.
So we saw it up here too.
Yeah.
Change it.
I mean, it's not as if like Cam Newton wasn't like a talented quarterback. You know, I mean, I don't know if he was in his prime when he came to New England, but he's a talented quarterback.
Definitely wasn't. But I think there was a lot of nagging injuries that just didn't. It finally.
A lot of shit happens, though. You know what I mean? Like a lot of stuff goes down. It could be that. I mean, the Bears basically went from. We had a pretty decent defense built and a decent little team put together. Maybe not Super Bowl winning, but the double doink happened to us, and that was basically the end of Mitch. Like he was just like never the same after that. And that was it. Like we were done. Like we basically went from being like, maybe they go this way, maybe they go that way, to like, we're definitely going this way. Cause it just wrecked the team. It just burned everybody's fucking heads out, you know? So it's like these little things can happen. I mean, and you guys built on success. You know, you built that culture up. People say, oh, Patriot Way, did it really exist? It's like, for when it existed, it existed. You know what I mean? Like when you could like, just because it didn't just like remain there forever, that doesn't mean that you weren't able to like point at Tom Brady when a guy came in to the program and be like, that's the dude you're playing for.
Right.
You know, and like your standards immediately go up. You build on success, you build on fucking failure. All right, let's see who the
I'm nervous right now.
It's gonna be Jaden Daniels.
I'm nervous.
Told you. Jaden.
Oh, Drake Maye, you are a Patriot, baby. Let's go. Woo! Oh my God.
You're happy then, I gather?
Look, once again, I didn't be cool to get him, but I'm like, listen, Drake Maye, you are a Patriot, baby. Let's go. Oh my God. Love that. But listen, Schefter had reported it a couple weeks ago. He was like, look, get ready, Commanders fans, to get the JD jerseys ready. So
yeah, this is pretty obvious too, I think. Everyone seems pumped.
Yep, the Robert Griffin comparison is gonna happen right away too.
You hear his dumbass though, every week, still doubling down on that take of like the Bears should, or Caleb Williams should do an Eli Manning and not go to the Bears. It's like, bro, it's legitimately the best situation the number one pick has walked into, like maybe ever. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Why would he possibly do that? That would be so stupid. Like, there's so many good players on this team now.
Yeah, I'm happy for Jaden Daniels, happy for him. I think that, like I said, yeah, he's gonna look good. Chocolate City, you know, let's ride.
Yeah. So who do they have though? They kind of they traded away a lot.
Yeah, they got Terry McLaurin, dude from Ohio State.
He's good.
He's good. If Curtis Samuel could be what he was before he got there, then he's a good option as well. But yeah, I mean, listen, Dan Quinn is going to be a run first guy. You know, that's just how he runs an offense. So it made sense that they went and got Jaden Daniels here at 2.
He's gonna put some highlights together for us this year, I think.
Oh, for sure.
See some breakout plays.
Yeah,
He can take a hit too.
Yep. So we'll see. So all right, New England's on the clock, baby. Let's go. I doubt that they'll be in there hugging each other, but they may. You know, we'll no longer see Nike the dog.
I don't know, man. The culture is different now. You know, you got Jerod Mayo as your coach. It's not Bill anymore. It's time to start accepting that things might be different. It might be a hugging environment now. They might just be huggers now. You don't know.
Listen, well,
it might be touchy-feely, Patriot Way. Patriot Way 2.0. Share the love.
Well, they better share the love and drop Drake Maye at 3. That's the line.
I mean, I'll tell you this. If Bill Belichick was still your head coach / GM, whatever happened, you'd be sitting there shitting yourself that he was going to trade away this third overall pick for some.
Listen, he for sure. Like, he would have traded with Minnesota and got 11 to 23. He absolutely would have done that. Absolutely. And he would have got a tackle at 11 and a safety at 23. That's what he would have did. And so, I just thought that those guys had a lot of value there.
I was thinking there was a chance the Bears are going to trade one for Herbert.
Oh, pick us in, Danny. Let's go. Pick us in, Danny. Pick us in, baby.
The new era. It's a new era in New England.
Come on, let's get it. Yeah, that's great. All right.
Honestly, everything's going as expected so far. So
Yeah,
I predict this is going to be Drake Maye. I don't think any mock
go.
drafts really had anything getting spicy yet, right?
Probably 5 is probably, I think, the pick that might get traded, which is the
4. I heard some rumors about 4 that the Vikings are trading up to get JJ, which I would think would be funny.
Right. I mean, especially when it's like, you have Herbert there signing that long deal. You know what I'm saying? So
I am looking at one mock draft that has the Giants trading up to get Drake Maye.
Got you.
You guys, and they give you like 1 million picks, but that obviously hasn't happened. So
right. Yeah. So hey, listen. Hey, congrats to those guys.
And then you get McCarthy at 6.
I picked Ramsey. Oh my god! Look at him. Oh my god. Oh man, Patrick Ramsey. I forgot about him. Wow.
I gotta say that is not a murderer's row of QB.
It's not. It's not.
Right now, listeners, they're showing just the graphic of all the first round QBs that the Washington Commanders now, but formerly a different team name, has drafted. And Jaden Daniels is not an esteemed company, I have to say. It's not a great crew of ball throwers. I guess the best guy on that list, other than Daniels, is probably Robert Griffin, but I mean, he was not a success by any.
Well, I mean, yeah. Unfortunately, he got hurt. But it's just
I don't know if he was.
Oh, okay, so here we go. They're showing the picture. Yeah, I told you, ain't no hugging going on. Everybody's in suits. Probably
that's because Robert Kraft's not allowed to touch any of the employees anymore. There's a new contract in place. So
I'm not going there.
Following the rules, HR has set up.
Drake Maye looks like Tom Brady though, doesn't he?
I mean, he looks like Tom Brady in a suit. He doesn't look like Tom Brady in a football jersey. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I mean, not at the moment.
Does he look like Tom Brady? I don't know. I don't really see it. I do think that.
Well,
like,
I mean,
would you say that?
So
I wouldn't say that his profile of QB is a Tom Brady profile, though. I'd say he probably more resembles a Ben Roethlisberger, Josh Allen, if you were really lucky, right? It's where more
Here we go.
It's gonna be Drake Maye.
I know.
No drama here.
I know. Here we go. Pick is in. Yes, sir. Welcome to Foxborough, baby. Welcome to Foxborough, Drake Maye, baby. Let's get it. Let's go. Love to see it. Love to see it. Love the pick. Once again, I started bringing this guy up in October and November when we started doing our weekly Monday shows with Mike. And some people on our YouTube was like, "Oh, you crazy? He doesn't do X, Y, and Z." I'm like, listen, this guy is the real deal. So I'm glad he's here. It worked it out perfectly. What's he? 6'5", about 225, 230. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Now just get the receiver at 34. Obviously, we won't know about that till tomorrow because it's only round 1 tonight. But yeah, let's get it. I'm here. I'm here for it. So yeah, Drake Maye, you're a Patriot, baby. Love it.
Congratulations on the new era.
Yes.
In New England.
Yeah. Get the jerseys, baby. I'm Gillette. I'm coming to you in about a month to get the jersey.
It's gonna be May. It's gonna be May.
It's gonna be May. That's right. That's right. I love it. Oh man, that's awesome. Now, speaking of, because there's some other guys from that team that's in the draft. His running back, Amarion Hampton. I would love to get him here. His receiver, Vontaze Walker, is also a pretty good receiver. He'd be good in the 3rd or 4th round. So if he's there, get guys he's comfortable with and bring him here. So wow, with a left hand throw, I had not seen that highlight. That was pretty gold. That was pretty dope. Someone in Boston has a left hand. But don't worry, we'll get into that in an hour or two.
What do you think of the Josh Allen comparisons with this guy? You think it's realistic?
Body wise, yes. Like prototype, absolutely. Don't know if his arm is as strong as Josh Allen, but it is.
His brain might be a little stronger though, so that might put you in contention.
Say again.
His brain might be a little stronger though. It's really what you need if you're looking at stronger than Josh Allen.
Correct. So yep. So that's we'll see how that goes, but I mean, but yeah, I'm excited. I think Harrison goes here though at 4.
Well, we'll keep one eye on it. I think unfortunately it's probably time to dive in and talk about your Boston Celtics. Were you at the game yesterday?
I was at the game, so yes, like I said, as promised, I said we did talk about the draft, but now we're going to get into some things Celtics. So yeah, so game one, obviously Boston won 114 to 94, and then Miami came back with a barrage of their own and won last night, 111 to 101. So just what were your thoughts as that game was unfolding? Just because like I said, I have a few thoughts on myself, but just what was your thoughts as that game unfolded last night?
I think it started with like fucking typical, like, this is how we're gonna do this. We started missing free throws, typical. We started making bad decisions offensively for multiple periods. I thought the rotations were completely wrong and off. I thought Jaylen Brown was the only one doing anything, but he was also still missing free throws. I thought that when he started playing well and going to the cup in like the third quarter, I thought that everybody just started standing around watching him, which is such a fucking thing that this team does in situations like this. I thought Tatum was a fucking ghost when we needed him most, which is not the first time I've said that. Porzingis looked absolutely dog shit. I don't know what the fuck was going on with him. I'm cool to give him a pass. He's got a lot of credit in the bank with me. It's okay to have a bad game. Kristaps Porzingis, this is the overall moral of the story. Kristaps Porzingis should be able to have a bad game. Kristaps Porzingis and Jason Tatum should be able to have a bad game. And you should still be able to beat the Jimmy Butler-less Miami Heat. Like, that's just 100% true. Yet again, we make role players, like full-blown role players, look like absolute studs on the road. On the fucking road. Like, they look like they had absolutely been allowed to get into a rhythm in Miami. They're role players. And I'll tell you why. The absolute most egregious sin of yesterday was how fucking lazy and how late we were on every defensive rotation for the entire game. We gave them so many good looks. Like, and I'm not even talking wide open shots. Like, we gave a few of those away, but we were so late to all the help. It's almost more encouraging because we get there, but we look raggedy, we look tired, and we give them kind of an opportunity to basically shoot it in our fucking face and still make it because we haven't gotten there, spotted up, and put our hands up. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's not even them earning the looks. It's just us, like, as per fucking usual in the playoffs, not fighting around screens properly, switching when we wouldn't switch. We're not as guilty of that without Marcus in the team because he just called switch on every single fucking play. And I realized that now that was kind of him. He would just switch on everybody. And that was just him being him. But switching when we shouldn't. Al Horford, I thought, was trying to set a tone defensively. But I think we were like kind of overly, tell me if you think this is true. We were kind of overly concentrated on like Bam. And like we kind of kept Tyler Hero quiet for like a minute. And then we just sort of gave up on keeping Tyler Hero quiet. He hit like 3 threes in a row then. Drew just like kept getting shook. I don't know what the fuck was going on there. Jaylen Brown got shook a couple times, like around screens. They were setting good screens. Like, don't get me wrong. They were setting really, really good screens and they were playing really hard. But it's just annoying to me that every time they play us a little bit hard, if their shots fall, they fucking kill us. You know what I mean? Like we had a little bit of a response where it was like, guys, like, we're the better team. Like, eventually those threes will start to dry up. Let's just start taking high percentage looks. And we would do that for a minute. And it was like, you would just see Tatum come through the middle and just slam one down. I'm like, okay, great. More of that. And then they just go back to like space and shoot. They just go right back to space. And it's like, guys, like, you have to wait a second. You have to build back up to that. Like, you can't just be like, okay, we made a couple shots. Like, now let's just go back to what wasn't working. And we just let them go on runs. Like, honestly, they need to play harder defense. They look so fucking disinterested. That's my main thing. I mean, offensively, I think like, there was moments I liked. There was things I enjoyed. I thought like I was advocating for like more of a mid-range game. I thought Tatum's like only looked good from the mid-range really yesterday. Like he had a couple nice like little turnaround jump shots, which I really enjoyed. I thought Jaylen was really strong going to the rack. Tatum was strong going to the rack a couple times. But again, they do that and they clear out Porzingis, and it's just like, dude, just get him closer to the cup and let him start. And granted, he wasn't doing that great around the cup either when he was there, or defensively, I don't know. He looked a little sluggish, a little tired, maybe. I don't know. Maybe playing Bam Adebayo is probably kind of hard. I get that. But they should be canceling each other out to a point where we're just killing everybody else on the team. And honestly, it was embarrassing. It was an embarrassing loss. There's no two ways about it. I mean, maybe they'll just come back and smash them 3 times in a row now. Twice in Miami, and then bring them back home to Boston and beat them. But it creates a ton of worry. It creates worry about our home team, our home performances, and if that's going to rear its ugly head again. our ability to manage series and like not let them get away from us, our thing with the Heat in particular, like all this stuff starts to rear its ugly head. You got to really tamp that fucking down like immediately. And we haven't done that now. Now we have a lot of more questions than we have answers all of a sudden. And it's too early in the playoffs to be doing this.
Listen, I know. I mean, listen, Celtics Twitter went. I mean, when I say it went dark, it went dark. You would have thought we lost the series last night, and
It was a pretty embarrassing loss, though, Ray. I mean,
absolutely. But I think I'd rather, and once again, because I believe that they're going to go far into the playoffs, I'd rather have this type of loss now than deeper into the playoffs. And I'm sorry, yes, people wanted to sweep Miami, of course. With or without Jimmy, you want to sweep them. People can't say that guy is the best coach or one of the best coaches. Actually, no, people say he's the best coach in the league. You can't say he's the best coach in the league and think he's not going to at least get one. Like that to me is insane. But I will say he has become.
you sure that was Spo, dude? Like, I just thought we looked.
Oh yeah, no, they
shitty.
definitely made the adjustment. I mean, granted, sometimes it is as simple as they made 23 threes. We made 22 in game 1. If a team is making 20 plus threes, they're going to win the game most
But
likely.
if a team is getting fucking no pressure on the perimeter and not getting
right,
then when they start doing it, it's one thing for them to go on a little bit of a heater, but call a fucking timeout and tell your team, Joe, to go run them off the fucking lines, dude. Like, go pressure them. Like, fucking pressure them. Like, make every shot fucking hurt. I don't care if you give up a couple 3-shot fouls. I don't fucking care. I want them run off those fucking lines. We're not playing the Warriors, dude. Like, they're not a fucking 3-point shooting team like that. Like, just go get them, dude. Just go rough them up. Just go rattle them. Like, come on. The Miami Heat set a franchise fucking record for threes on us last night. And I will tell you, that is not the best 3-point shooting Miami Heat team that I've ever watched. I don't know about you. But they used to be a hell of a lot fucking better at shooting from the outside than they are right now. Their best player is Bam Adebayo. He's the best player on the court for them. And they're fucking setting franchise records for threes made in a playoff game against us. That's unbelievably unacceptable.
Yep. No, I totally agree. I think, but it leads to what I'm going to bring up next because, obviously, people since he took over has been asking for Joe Mazzulla to get fired, right? And I think to an extent he earned some trust with some people over the regular season because when you go 64-18, that's a good record, regardless of what people think about him. Like 64-18 is excellent. But what I want to ask you is, most of that game plan or all that game plan really was what he was saying to them. Hey, go under here or, leave so-and-so wide open. So just do you believe or do you think that his stubbornness to adapt at times can cost them going forward? Because
Yes.
that's but because at some point someone has to take over, in my opinion. But like I said, but we'll just stick to the coaching right now.
You mean Tatum? Yeah, I'm sure we'll come on to that. But I mean, obviously that was a big red flag for us. But as far as the coaching goes, dude, like, I'm sorry, man. Like, yeah, the adjustments he wasn't making were so fucking obvious, and like, it kills me. It kills me to watch him do that because the part that annoys me is that I used to think this time last season when we were talking about Joe and his playoff decision making, I used to think that he didn't know when to do the right thing and he was panicking. But I watched him do it in the regular season. I watched him get better during the regular season at making in-game decisions that helped us adjust and win games. And then post All-Star break, he started just doing this shit again. Where his timeouts weren't terrible yesterday, but it was like what we weren't making any adjustments coming out of them. And the most obvious adjustment was just like, yo, can we just contain their shooters? Like, can we just please fucking contain their shooters for the love of God? Like, we have guys with wingspans, 7-foot wingspans, just not closing down their fucking shooters. You know what I mean? And it's just like Al Horford was. Like, I don't understand, dude. It's just basic basketball sense. You got to be yelling that at these guys, and he said it to fucking Tracy at halftime. He was like, we got to close down the shooters better. But then it seems like you're saying he's not even really giving that instruction like clearly or effectively. It's like, I don't not believe that.
Yeah. It's got to be something because it's like at some point it's just like how. But my thing is, how do you even? And I get it because maybe it worked a little bit better in game 1. I get that, but
You won't just came to us though. Like every shot fell.
Right. But I'm like, I would never want a strategy to be, whether it's a great 3-point shooting team or not. I would never want the strategy to be, man, let's just see if they miss it. No.
Oh,
Hey,
never do that. You'll
not-
get cooked on a
that's not-
given night.
That's not how it should be. So I'm not feeling that at all. So from that standpoint, like, yeah, things definitely do got to change. Once again, I did not jump off the deep end like some did. And once again, I still firmly believe that this team will make a amazing run and get back to the championship round. I really do.
But that's not what we've been talking about though. I agree with you there. It's just that their frailties are the same frustrating frailties that have been there for like a long time now. And I think like, you know, I don't know if you want to move on to Tatum yet, but like,
yeah, we can.
there's just things that there's things that really scared me about his game yesterday. Like really scared me.
Well, what scared me, not even scared me, what pissed me off, he was on fire in the first quarter. And Joe Mazzulla says, let me take him out. This is not just Joe Mazzulla, this is with any coach. That burns a hole in me like no other.
You gotta let it cook.
This is not
You gotta let it cook.
It's not a January game, you know, against Detroit. It's not.
No.
It's the playoffs.
Yeah.
You ride till the wheels fall off.
Yeah.
Especially these first 3 games, you had 2 days off in between each time. So if you could have went full Tom Thibodeau and played Tatum 48 minutes. Why not? Who cares? Why not?
Yeah,
Who cares?
playoffs, it's fine.
Said, oh, you needed 48. Who cares? It's the fucking playoffs.
Also, I would just argue.
Tatum went fucking ballistic in the first half, and I was like, he gave it to him.
I know, and he really cooled down so hard, and I just think, and then it was, you know, it was a wrap by the time he should have been getting anything going. But to be honest, like I agree with you wholeheartedly. I don't like to see him come off when he gets hot. I think he is obviously he's talented enough to. I wouldn't reduce him to saying he's like a heat check player or like or a volume player or anything like that. But like he does, like all basketball players to a certain degree. Like you got to let him cook. And I would argue that if you're a fan upset about the idea of him playing 48 minutes, it's a lot more minutes to play 7 games. You know?
Right.
It's just play 4 games. If you play, I bet every NBA player will tell you they'd rather play 4 games of 48 minutes and then get a week off. I guarantee a week and a half if you're the 1 seed. So, you know, to me, it's just like just win all 4 games, dude. I don't care how you do it. We're in the fucking playoffs at this point. You know, it's just, it is what it is. Like his body better be ready. You know, like at the end of the day, like you should be playing up until playoff momentum for your physical fitness. So he should be able to play 40 minutes a game.
He's always been the most durable on this team, always. So I'm not hearing that you need to take him out. You know, and once again, he should be playing 42, 43 minutes. Period. Like, and once again, because you can always tell with him. When he starts off like that, you're like, okay, like it could be one of those nights. So he had 10 in a matter of 2 minutes, and I'm like, oh, okay, we're getting that guy tonight. Let's go. And then once again, 5 minutes in, you take him and Holiday out. Like it's just like I don't stop. I don't know. To me,
I got burned up by the Holiday sub too because him and Jaylen Brown were creating this great like 2-man defensive trap for anybody trying anything in the corner. Did you see that? Like they had a couple turnovers, just the 2 of them like playing off guys. They tried to get it going again in the 4th, and it just didn't really work because it was like they kind of, you know, the spacing was different at that point, but they were playing genius.
The confidence was through the roof at that moment.
Genius 2-man defense they were playing. It was like fucking great to watch.
Yep.
You know, you know what, unfortunately, was strangely the turning point of the game is Drew missed a pass because we got the ball. We turned the ball over twice, to ourselves at the end of the first half, and Drew missed the pass to Jaylen in the corner for like the last 3, and Jaylen was hot. He was about to sink it. He was going to sink it 100 times out of 100, and he just overfired the pass. And then when that happened, we came out in the second half just cold as ice, dude. Like everything was just fucking up. Like Porzingis was like rebounds he would normally make, like without even like you'd already be looking down the fucking court, you know, in these rebounding situations, and he was falling over. You know, you saw those like moments. He's like slipping and falling, and I'm like, oh my god, it's just not our night tonight. It's really just not our night tonight. And maybe We could just chalk it up to that. Maybe that shit just happens. It's like, all right, so that anyone can lose a game of basketball. It can happen to the best of us, right? It's not even like 96 Bulls won every single game. So, I
Right.
just, I don't
Right.
know.
Okay.
Just
So wait,
worried.
hold on. I'm glad. I'm glad you just said that. The 96 Bulls lost games in the playoffs. The 2016 Warriors who had the greatest fucking regular season of all time.
Blew a 3-1 lead.
Well, you blew like it's like and I get it because we're not as invested. So it's like, well, we don't care about that. We care about our team, but it's like, yo, there's no perfect way to win the championship. The goal is to advance. And once again, and I want to actually
We literally almost got knocked out in the first round in 08. It's
right, but that's so I'm saying. So are the 08 comparisons fair? Because people's like, well, that was a different team. I'm like, no, they literally was on. I mean, granted, they smacked Atlanta in Game 7.
Yeah,
That
fucked them up in Game 7.
That Atlanta team was more talented than this Miami team. I'm like now. I said, are we really having revisionist history and saying that we thought that Atlanta team was more talented? Now, granted, Joe Johnson.
It turned out that Atlanta team was
Joe Johnson would have been the best player on this Heat team right now for sure. Don't get me wrong.
Young Al Horford, like I
get that, but it's like don't make it seem that team was 37-45. Like, don't make it seem like they were world beaters, and I was like, they were just really athletic, and at that time, we could not do anything against teams that were athletic. Like, that was our kryptonite. If you was athletic, you had a shot against that Celtics team, and it was like that the whole time during the KG era. So, but once again, the goal is to advance. Like, is that's the goal. So I don't know. To me, I think it's too much. I get the concern, I get the frustration, but I just want to say, like I said, I'll say this again as when we close out the show at the end. If you're off the bandwagon after last night, as Jaylen Brown has said all year, please stay on that side.
No, obviously you don't.
Not that's always you. I'm saying, but to Celtics Twitter, to those that's been on there, fuck this team can do. They'll never figure it out. They just never learn. They play so dumb. If and when they go through and win 3 and 4, and then obviously close out next Wednesday, I don't want to hear a soul about, I knew they had it. Fuck that. You got emotional. You thought it was over after game 2. So just stay there.
I don't think anyone's saying it's over. That would be ridiculous. That would be an absurd take.
If you're right, I wish I could have shared most of the tweets I saw last night. Like, people were really off the deep end. And once again, there is not too many that's more emotional than the man that you're listening to right now. But even I, like I said, was I mad about the loss? Of course. Of course. But I'm like, I can't see.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm mad about the loss.
I can't see a team. I can't see the team out East beating them 4 times out of 7. Once again, you may get a game here and there. Once again, there has never been a team to go 16-0 in the playoffs. Never. There's never been a team to go 16-0. Once again, the 0-1 Lakers was the closest thing. And then, like I said, some guy named Allen Iverson said, not so fast. So it's like,
I gotta tell you, in order to win a championship in any sport, but really focus on the NBA, you gotta win the games you should win.
Yes.
You gotta win the games you should win. And a game at home to a fucking Jimmy Butler-less Miami Heat team, like, I think we're all well within our rights to be fucking annoyed with them right now. Like, it's just annoying. It's annoying. It's fucking with everybody's schedule. We were supposed to have this fucking one and done 4-0'd and a couple weeks off to fucking collect our thoughts before we moved on to the next round.
I mean, trust me, I'm in the process of moving, and I was like, all right, same thing with the Bruins. I was like, all right, great. We went through, we
changing the PTO at the last second.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, okay, now I got to be there Tuesday. I got to be the next Wednesday, and I'm like,
the whole fucking TD Garden's probably like, oh, great, thanks guys. We got to prepare for another huge event we weren't planning for.
The Brennan wants money.
No, obviously. I'm saying people. I'm saying
the Jenkins family wants money.
I know, but what I'm telling you is because we live in capitalism, we don't share the profits of our labor. I'm not saying there's a better system on here, but like maybe there is. We don't share the profits of our labor, so now we got to go fucking just get shift wage, and that's the Celtics' fault. That's the fucking Celtics' fault. You got shit to do.
Yep.
Come on, guys.
Yep,
But you're
and
right. I mean, like
just-
we clipped last for the last show. It's talking about Jason Tatum and the isolation. It's just like at some point he's going to need to be able to turn it on in the fourth quarter and win a game when we're not playing well. Like that just has to happen. Like I need him to figure out how to be able to do that at will. I know it's asking a lot, but he's supposed to be one of the best 3 players in the league. Then he's going to have to be able to do that.
Yeah, no, fair. I mean, like I said, who knows? Maybe we see it, Saturday night. Because, like I said, we're not getting into too much of the Bruins, but people were. I know this because I was there. People were pissed at the game too. Oh, why did you fucking lose that game? You was up. You had 2 different leads at one point. Da da da. Well, they came to Toronto last night and they doubled up Toronto. They beat in their house. They beat them 4-2. In hockey terms, that's a blowout. So maybe we see the same thing come Saturday night down there in Miami. So once again, just chill. Once again, the Bruins coach made the adjustment. He put somebody in there.
Yeah, well, I'm just not sure Joe has that in his locker.
Well, I mean, it once again, it's either that. And Brad's not this guy to say this, but I'm sure maybe Wicker said it, and if he has, then he should. Your job is on the line. And once again, I don't think he should be fired. I want to be clear about that. But
You don't think if he loses to the Heat, he should be fired? In the first round of this team?
So as a fan,
I think he'd be lucky not to be guillotined in the fucking streets of Boston, to be honest.
Facts, yeah.
Forget
From
fucking fired.
From a fan perspective, absolutely. Like, yeah, you better not fucking lose to to Miami this more. But I'm just saying, I just feel like we now know how Brad and company operate. They believe in continuity. Then they're not getting rid of him at this moment. What I could see happening, which is something that you've said in the past, either you promote somebody from the coaching staff, or what Grossbeck does what Mickey Arison did to Pat Riley years ago when they fired Stan Van Gundy, and he said, Pat Riley, this team is close, you go fucking coach him. And I think maybe Wick has a conversation this summer. If they don't win, the worst case scenario, he goes back to Brad and says, hey, I know you've done a hell of a job. You need to get back down on that sideline.
You remember how bad it was with Brad though at the end? Like the players quit on like 100%.
That 2021 team, once again, Jaylen Brown ended up being out. You lose to Brooklyn in the first round with Kyrie Harden, and like Brad. When I look back at it now, Brad made miracles out of certain teams that shouldn't have had no business.
Oh, that's obviously
that's why we're so mad.
Yeah.
That's why we're so mad, because we're like, damn, we got this far with less, and we can't, so that's really what I think people are getting upset about, and I totally get it. Totally get it. But yeah, I don't know. To me, the adjustment part, like I said, that has to be made. I want to go a little further with Porzingis too, right? Because he obviously had the worst game of his Celtics career. Obviously, 1 of 9, 4 points, 6 rebounds. They had a couple of steals or whatever. But what do you think was the biggest difference for him from game 1 to game 2? And how do you think he gets back on track for game 3?
I think they were playing him really physical, which I think was probably the right thing to do from a Miami perspective. But I also think and I hope that he doesn't make a habit of this, but I think, and I've first seen this happen to players. I mean, it's just, sometimes you just have a bad game, like to me, that's kind of just what it looked like. Like he just couldn't catch a break, like everything he tried just wouldn't come off. His rhythm was off. He then just started to try to force it a little bit, but he didn't do that too much, like, which I appreciate. Like he tried to just get back in the game a couple of times. Like he wasn't playing hero ball or anything. And then, like, when he finally started to just try to do the easy stuff, like, that shit wasn't coming off for him either. He was just trying to get in around the bucket, trying to make easy layups and stuff, and he, like, couldn't even figure that out. He had a couple moments where he could have had, like, second chance points, and it was, like, any other night, like, he touches that, and it just falls in, but it, like, just rims out, and you're just like, oh, dude. Like, he was the epitome of why a big part of me, I'm mad at them, don't get me wrong, but I think why a big part of me sort of thinks like maybe it just wasn't our night and those things happen, because he was the embodiment of that. Like it was just like, oh man, it's really just not your night tonight, Kristaps. Like it's just really not your night, dude. So
yeah, I'm like, I don't know. I mean,
but they're all shots he normally makes. You know what I mean? Like
right,
it's not like he was going crazy. So
I'm like, damn. I'm like that many. The turnaround wasn't working. And once again, they, like I said, they were definitely more handsy, as they said. Like they. Like, cause the play I think you brought up earlier where, they threw it into him, he got fouled there, but obviously in the playoffs, they're not going to call that type of foul.
If you're
So
relying on that, though,
no, of course, no. I'm saying, but it's like I think because they knew, okay, the refs are going to slow their whistle a little bit more. Let's just see if we could toe the line, and we're going to toe the line until they, they say otherwise. But what I won't be what's the word I'm looking for? What I will say I'm upset about, I should say, I'm sick of the illegal screens. I'm fucking over it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they were definitely setting
Sorry,
some
like,
screens that were
it's like
definitely a little
it's
sketchy.
every fucking year with Bam, he gets away with murder with those illegal screens. Once again, hell of a player.
It's because he does it around the corner every single time, so it's, like, harder to see, I think, from the referee's perspective, because he's screened from the line guy. He's screened by the guy he's protecting coming around the corner, so he sneaks it in, like, last second, and I agree with you that they're definitely fucking illegal, but it's pretty
fucking joke.
smart how he does it. Like, I think he's a pretty crafty player, like, that's I do like Bam Adebayo is the thing, like,
I like his game too, but I'm just saying like that to me, because my thing is it's the pulling of the arm. And once again, when you're there, like you're seeing it in person, I'm just like, okay, he's pulling on the arm, or
but we have to get over that, like, we have to be able to mentally overcome that stuff.
But you gotta fucking call that though. Like it can't happen every.
They're not gonna.
But every time. And once again, I'm not clamoring for him to get fouled out. I think you don't come to see him get fouled out. That's not what I'm saying. But give a call once or twice a game where it's like, don't fucking do that shit, bro. Because if you do, it's gonna get called, and then now you're on the bench, when you should be out there for your team. So that's kind of how I see it. But it is what it is. But like I'm I'm over it, and it's just like it's insane. So so we talked about KP, talked about Jaylen Brown, talked about Jason Tatum, we talked about Missoula. So just obviously we know the series decided one apiece. Game 3 is on Saturday night. So just what are your keys to the game going into Saturday, and then just what's the biggest adjustment that you want to see?
I just want to start well. I want to start well. I want to set the tone. I don't want to let them in. I don't want to be in a battle with Miami in the fourth quarter. I want to go out there and do what I think that this team can do, which is light a fire really, really early and have the game just get away from the Heat, because their game plan obviously yesterday for game 2 was like, just keep yourselves in it for 3 quarters. Like, just stay in the game. Don't let them get hot. Like, don't let them go on runs. Like, chip them, get in their way. Like, don't let them get going. And then we'll see if we can win it in the fourth. And it worked because we let them make it work. Right. I want our game plan to be rock solid, and I want our game plan to be instituted from the jump, literally from the jump. But then again, in saying that, like, what I would be saying to them in the locker room if I was Joe is like, you got to just put that one out of your minds, guys. Like, you're still the players that you were before that game. Like, let's just go out there and show. It doesn't matter where we are. Obviously, we need a response now. So I'm looking forward to that influencing our away performance, because we have to win. We have to win game 3. And what I would be saying to them as Joe right now is like, listen, the expectations on you are the highest they could possibly be. There's no like wiggle room at the top anymore. There's no more you're young or we haven't quite got the pieces or whatever. It's like, you have no excuses. So if you go out there and you try to hide on that court, everyone's going to see you, everyone's going to point at you, and everyone's going to know that you tried to hide. You got to rise to the occasion here, guys. You are the better team. And as long as you don't shrink from that fact, then we can go and get the job done in the way that we need to go and get the job done. Don't let this scrappy, well-coached team get into this. The talent has to prevail. We have to let ourselves play. Let the game come to you. Don't think about it. Get it out of your head. Just throw it out of your head. Just play your game. If everybody just plays their game to a man, we will win every single game we play against this team. Just get out of your heads. Just get out of your fucking heads. So with that, I just hope that they can get there, because we've yet to see that.
Right. Yeah, no. So I share some of the same sentiment. Like, I obviously want the strong start. I want the ball movement to come back. I think that's something that they, when they're on, the ball is skipping.
It was there in the first quarter.
Yeah, no, it was. Yeah, exactly. And even that's why I was even encouraged. I was like, man, like Miami started out hot and we was only down 1, right? Like I was like, okay, like they blitzed you.
I had the same exact thought. I was
I was
literally like, "Oh my
yeah,
god, we're
cool.
not
Like,
even playing that well," and we're
and
like,
actually they
better than you.
responded because the second
Yeah.
quarter they found a way. Jaylen Brown caught fire, and I'm like, okay, here we go. Like they weathered the storm, and then
At
obviously
that point, I was just thinking, "Oh, it's a JB game. That's all.
right,
Like we're
yeah.
just gonna
I
have
mean,
one of those."
listen, yeah, he had 33, so I mean, he was awesome.
Yeah, you can't blame him for that loss for sure.
Yeah, no, not at all. But I get it. Obviously, that just if anybody else has showed up, once again, Derek White had did his thing a little bit in the fourth quarter. That's another thing I'll get into too before I give my my other adjustments. I said it the other night on the show that Derek White was becoming our Derek Fisher. The man just makes shots when it mattered.
Yeah.
And he did last night, right? Like just the kid
And I
thing.
heard that he's gonna lie about his kid's eye to move away from Boston. So he's really like Derek Fisher. Like they're like the same person. Just kidding. He's gonna stay here forever. Go ahead.
So I'm just like, man. So it's just like, wow. So sorry, as a quick aside, wow, Michael Penix goes to Atlanta. Wow, okay, that's the first shocker on the board. I feel like,
That's pretty surprising.
yeah,
So we could potentially draft Roman Dunze right now, right?
yep, there you go. So yeah, we'll stay on to that. But yeah, I just think that ball movement, more attention to detail when it comes to the rotation, as you alluded to earlier in the show, and just whatever it takes, man, just whatever it takes to get the job done. Like I'm saying, there's not an excuse. Once again, if everyone's healthy, it's not an excuse. Just get in there. You play hard. Even if you play hard for not even the full 48, if you play hard for 45 minutes, this game is over because you just still win by 10 to 15. So be more intentional with the passing. Be more intentional with going to the basket, and be intentional with your spacing. So if you do all that, then you should be victorious on Saturday night and on Monday, like point blank period. So they definitely got that. So
Also, then it's series over.
right,
We come back to
exactly.
Boston, series over. So we
Right,
get
correct.
4-1 and we win the game. We win the series in 5. And then you can look at it and say, like, well, we won that series in 5. If you had obviously everybody wanted a sweep, but if you had offered me 5 games at the start, I would have taken it.
Right, correct.
Like a little gentleman's sweep, and not really, even though because we lost at home. But like, yeah, I would have taken 5, no problem.
Right, and once again, unfortunately, they like I said, they went 6 last year with the Atlanta Hawk team. Like I was more put it like this, I was more mad at game 5 last year than I was at the game last night. If that makes sense.
I was pretty mad.
Guys just they got stupid hot. Like you're not beating somebody when they shoot 23 fucking 3. It's not happening. You're not beating them. I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
So it's not happening. So, limit their shot takes, and once again, make sure that the shot margin is not as bad as it was in game 2. So it is what it is. So, but like I said, I think we both have the Celtics winning in game 3.
And
Once again, and 4. So like make sure that once we drop this, that you leave in the comments what you think is going to happen. What do you want to see happen? Are you fully off the bandwagon? Are you still on?
better still be on. Come on, it was 1-L.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't be stupid. You're gonna look dumb if you're off the bandwagon right now.
Oh no, there's a few. And I got the receipts ready. Believe me. So
Yeah, the internet doesn't forget.
right, yeah. we will end this with it's perfect timing. The Bears pick is now in at number 9. So this is what we will end with, and then we will see you next week. So let's see. So shout out to our guy Bill Kuiper, looking dapper.
Yeah, Dapper Kuiper. Who we
Dapper
got?
Kuiper,
Who we
yeah,
got? It's gonna be Rome. It's gonna be Rome.
Yeah, it should be Rome. Yeah, should be Rome.
I mean, it's exciting from a fan's perspective. I wanted us to make a little bit more of a practical decision at 9, but I think it's still exciting to get a guy that good. Obviously,
I think I missed it, but Neighbors went 6 to New York, right?
he went 6 to New York. Yeah, correct.
Nice. Yeah, that's an excellent pickup for him too. I think he's really good.
Who's throwing it to him? Daniel fucking Jones. See you in a few years, maybe Malik Neighbors. We'll talk about you in 3 years minimum.
Right, exactly.
Torn right ACL for Penix Jr. in 2018. That's surprising.
Well, that's
Torn
why
right ACL and 2020.
that's why he fits in with Kirk Cousins.
Damn,
Yep.
high upside, huh? High upside.
High upside, baby. Let's get it.
Let's see. What's going on? Where's the pick? They said the pick was in. Somebody
I'm like,
tell me
I'm
when
like,
they draft it,
did Booger McFarland play for y'all?
right?
He
Come
got
on.
the orange and blue one. Like
Man, that convention center looks cool though, or wherever they are.
mhm.
Cool, like screens and graphics. It's like outside in the middle of the parking lot.
You know,
Actually.
it's downtown.
All right, here we go with the number 9 pick
Hmm.
in the NFL draft.
Here we go. Come on,
Doomsday.
Rod. On Tuesday. Here you go.
Yo,
Nice.
our offense is fucking stacked. It is
Sir.
absolutely stacked. This is the best Bears offense that I've ever seen in my life already on paper.
Okay.
Quite frankly, we're absolutely shredded from top to bottom. Like our offense is fucking absolutely dripping in talent. It's crazy. And they all seem cool as fuck. I hope they all go out, have a cool steak dinner or something soon. Yeah. I mean, this is an exciting time. It's an exciting time to be a Bears fan. Now we just got to see. I'll tell you this: they've left Caleb Williams nowhere to hide. If you can't come in and do it with all these guys, then you're not the guy that everybody said you were. So, like, let's see.
Right. Correct.
We're still going to be run heavy. We're obviously still going to be run heavy. That's how the Bears play. It's how this offense is set up. Is run the ball and stop the run. That's always been the Bears' philosophy.
Got our first trade. So New York traded back one spot for.
So they're getting JJ right now. The Vikings are about to draft JJ McCarthy
So
at 10.
So
Okay.
this is what we'll end with. We'll end with this here, and
The
then
Vikings are about to trade, and like this is a great day for me because I know this is a bust. So I'm really happy that they're about to do this. This is awesome.
And then just keep in mind, like I said, we just say this at the beginning, but if this is your first time listening, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Follow us on all social media platforms. Once again, we're getting back in the game right now with that. So follow us on MTP_pod on Instagram and on Twitter or /X. And make sure you hit that subscribe button on YouTube because we are dropping more content for that ass. So make sure that you so let's get it.
Some content on that ass.
Content on that ass, baby. So make sure you get locked in. So I love that. So yeah, come on. Let's see what Minnesota picks. We know who you're gonna pick right now. So
Come on, I like to see the Bears jersey get held up.
mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, even if Caleb doesn't work out at this point, like we're so fucking stacked offensively, like just bring in old hands. Like see if Russell Wilson flames out halfway through the year. It's like, fuck it, Russell, just come in. You've always wanted to come to Chicago.
So I think they'll draft JJ now. I think the Jets are gonna draft Bowers from Georgia.
That's a good pickup for them. That'll make them a lot better, actually. I don't know what Rodgers is gonna look like, to be honest, but
yeah, but I mean, this
could potentially be a winning team next year. You don't know.
for sure. So we will see. So come on, Minnesota, so we can wrap this up. It's like Minnesota. Hey, he got
Rome. Rome doesn't talk the way I thought he was going to talk.
He got that New Jack City suit on though, man. Woo!
What a movie!
Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am.
Have you seen King of New York?
Yes.
Fucking such a good movie. Just like Christopher Walken and fucking Lawrence Fishburne going bananas in New York City. It's fucking great. So good.
Same thing with that movie Hoodlum too.
That one's a good one.
That's a great one. Yeah, Bumpy Johnson. Yeah,
You seen Ghost Dog: Way of the Samurai?
I have not seen that.
Dude, you got to watch that movie.
I was that.
It's Forrest Whitaker literally thinks he's a samurai.
You get it all here on MTP. You get sports. You get great movie references.
I mean, you got to watch Ghost Dog.
Jack of all trades, baby.
Ghost Dog's a little weird because it's a Jim Jarmusch movie, and all Jim Jarmusch movies are a little weird. But it's Forrest Whitaker at the peak of his powers, just living in the hood and practicing the lifestyle of a samurai. It's fucking sick. You have to watch it. You'll love it. I promise. Everybody loves it whenever I recommend it to people.
Yeah,
Prime Forrest Whitaker. All right, we got a commercial break.
Trust your film knowledge there. So I will definitely have to.
I promise you'll like it. I promise you'll like it. You just got to give it like a nice quiet space to actually watch it.
Text me the title again when we're off there, and
I got you a link. What's your streaming service of choice these days?
I've been heavy on Paramount Plus, but I don't know if they have it.
Paramount Plus is good. This one's on Tubi, which is free.
Love that. If it's free, it's for me.
I'll send you a link. This is good podcasting right now. Me sending
you. Great podcast. Great podcast. We're giving somebody else a recommendation too that hadn't heard it. So If you haven't heard of it or haven't seen it, so
Oh, I hope everybody
that was-
listening to this watches
now-
Ghost Dog. It's a fucking fire film.
yeah. now is that so now I'm looking at the bottom of the screen. So the guy you was talking about from UCLA, Latu, that's his name, Latu.
Too. Yeah.
That's the guy. So
Does he go? What, the Vikings just take? Oh no, you're just.
no, I'm saying like he was in the best available, so I was like, I just couldn't remember his name. But
I
now-
wanted him. I'm not upset with Rome though. I mean, our wide receiver room is absolutely outrageous right now. So
Yeah, I mean, shoot, getting to learn from Keenan Allen, it's gonna be.
I mean, what bridge players we have? You know what I mean? Like, it's unbelievable. And also, we got a good secondary tight end too. Like Cole Kmet had his best season last season.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I genuinely think we might actually be able to win football games this year. It's going to be so exciting. That's been so long for me since I've watched that happen. It would
Good.
actually make it worth it to get Sunday ticket. You know what I mean? Come on, Minnesota. Just take JJ
I
so
know,
they
what's
laugh at you and sign
No,
on.
no, it's them damn TV timeouts. Come on, what
That is what's happening right now. It's a commercial.
Yeah, I hate it, but it's okay. They got a good movie referral in that time process. So
See?
you know,
And you did.
the fans should be happy about that. Man, listen, they just showed that picture of Buffalo. Shit, if I'm Buffalo, I'm drafting like 4 receivers this draft.
I know.
Gabe Davis gone. You trade Diggs. Like I'm just like, man,
Oh. What are they going to do next year? Yeah, I guess they probably.
I
are
don't know.
drafting
I
him.
mean, you know, it becomes wide open again. I'll tell you that because they had a hold on the division since Brady left, but there's no way they have a chokehold on it now. And once again, Aaron Rodgers is a wild card, because you don't know where he's going to be coming back from that injury. So
What do you think that what's his name? Fucking Harbaugh's strategy was, like, bigging up McCarthy to everybody, just get him to get drafted higher, just because he was
probably.
I thought maybe there was a chance that that the Chargers trade out and trade the number 1 overall pick or Herbert to the Bears for 1 and just get JJ at 1. I thought that there was a world where that might happen. It would have been pretty absurd, but I don't know. He kind of convinced me for a second that maybe he was really, like, actually going to go get his guy from college. Maybe, but he's got Justin Herbert in there. That would have been the right choice. Like,
I'm glad they went tackle there with them. Not for a minute. I'm talking for LA.
Chargers, yeah.
You got to protect Herbert there. You got to.
yeah.
So,
All right, here we go. Pick is in number 10.
This is what we end off for tonight. So make it a good one.
You happy about Drake Maye?
Big time. I'm about to watch like in the same amount of highlights when we get off. Even more than I was watching before.
Yeah,
Now
I
that
feel the same way about Caleb. I think I've seen all his highlights at this point.
can't
so,
wait
you know.
I can't wait to the introduction press conference. It's probably going to be either tomorrow or Monday. So
Problem with this is it feels so far away from the start of the season.
oh well, I mean, no OTA start coming up, and it's like, and man, listen, every mini camp, every training camp before we know it, man. So
That's true. I'm gonna be really interested in the training camp reports this year too. Obviously,
yeah. I'm
Just
actually going to probably
kind
go up to one. So
that's cool.
and I'm like, I've never been, so I want to see. Just gotta make sure I find some shade.
Come on into the division, JJ. Come on in. It's not like it's shark infested waters at this point.
Right?
It's not like it's full blown 4 good teams, right? I mean, I feel like Minnesota were the best team in the NFC North for a few years, and now they're just the 4th best, I think, going into next season. Am I crazy to say that?
Yeah. I mean, I don't. I mean, listen, they got the best receiver. I feel like still. I
Really?
love Justin Jefferson, but there's got to be more. Yeah. I mean, we're
Yes, we might be about to find out.
find out. So
Doing
let's
some
see.
bullshit beforehand. Hold on. Oh, it's the
What?
Chiefs. My bad. Whoops.
It's like some like
I was like, we're doing some bullshit. Hold on. They were like,
It's like
their father made a heroic
It's bullshit.
sacrifice by dying for his country. I was like, ooh, whoops. Maybe it's not some bullshit. My bad. Ooh. Sorry about that, everybody.
oh my
Get him off
god.
the fucking stage. Oh, shit.
Oh my god, I love it. That's so funny. That's so funny. Wow. Oh my gosh, that is great.
This lady who's like husband, dad, I guess, is going to announce it.
Yeah,
Oh, no,
wow.
it's the kid. It's the kid. I just made fun of her dead dad, but it's the kid. Sorry about that.
I know. Geez, and I get it, but I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like, they are dragging this shit out.
Yeah, they really milked that. They really milked that bitch. All right, it's JJ. Welcome to the NFC North, JJ. You
Dude,
poor son of a
ooh.
bitch.
But
Oh my god, he's gonna get absolutely eaten alive. This is gonna be great.
Gonna be great. There you go. So okay, there you go. Skull, baby, Skull City. Let's get it. But yeah, so like I said, that's anything else we touch on before we get out of here?
I'm good. I'm gonna go watch some Caleb Williams tape.
Sounds good. So yeah, so once again, hit that subscribe button. Like I said, thank you for tuning in. Like I said, this was a little different for us doing stuff in the actual moment. So we can see if we can do this again at some point for sure. But this was fun. So he's DK Sizzle. I'm Hollywood Rayshawn Buchanan. Until next time, we'll see ya. Peace.
Hey there, I'm DC. I host the rock podcast, Back to the Arena, The Interviews. It's about a 30-minute podcast where I talk one-on-one with a band who has released new music. You can find us on all the best podcast sites like Spotify, Apple, Google, iHeartRadio, and more. If you're a rock fan like me, subscribe today to Back to the Arena, The Interviews.
Electricast. Electricast.